This is for the players.
I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Josh Shawn.
And this is For the Players, the pop culturist PlayStation podcast. Over 40 years of playing PlayStation, 8 plus years in that gamer's community combined. I'd like to thank you for joining us for this PlayStation conversation.
This PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and 8 a.m. on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast services. If you want to be a part of future conversations, please join us on Facebook, Discord, comment below. If you're feeling generous, join us on Patreon, patreon.com/popculturist. Head over there, check out the tiers. Might be something there that interests you.
If you are a Patreon supporter, you can watch us record this show live. Yeah, no, I changed my hat.
What are you doing?
I changed my hat. It was annoying me. And then I took my hat off because my head was really hot, so I vomited here. You can watch us record this show live, but doing tiers and things. If you want to support Pop Culturist, head to popculturist.com/shop. We can buy shirts with our logos and crap on them. We are also on Twitch at twitch.tv/thepopculturist. And while you are there listening to For the Players on your podcast services, why don't you go check out the new show, The Young and the Wrestlers?
I'm not affiliated with. Also, momentous occasion just there. You showed your hair without gelling it on camera.
Mm-hmm. Know it.
I can tell you're not well.
Yeah, no, I feel like Russia.
Watch you just like edit that whole section out. Yeah. What's he talking about? We saw nothing.
Yeah, no, I've been hit with the old classic sickness.
Yeah.
My wife and my son have been patient 1 and 2. Well, both patient zeros, I suppose, for a while. And I'm like, suck it. I've managed to avoid all of it. And right now, it's just this. It goes in my face.
Sad.
Yeah.
Sad times.
It's good things. How you been, man?
Yeah, good. Had a rough week this week.
A rough
like
week?
a rough week this week.
Oh, like a rough, masculinely manly week.
First week, I felt like an apprentice.
Nice.
I got banged with a ladder. I hurt my elbow. I got my hand pinched in a lift and it's turning purple. I got spat on.
What?
We're at the top of a very big ladder. I think it's a 10-footer. And we've got this little pump thing that we use to pour water in drains to make sure that they're not leaking and stuff. So we're both out there, me and the guy I work with, my senior. And so we do that, and then there's water left in the hose. So he sucks it in his mouth, but then he realizes that half that container is poison. So just out of everything gets I'm like,
He's like, oh, poison. Oh, sorry, John. And you're like drowned in poison.
that's okay. My eyes are turning
I don't
red.
need poison.
It was an accident.
Yeah.
He's so apologetic about it.
I thought you had a customer that was like, what do you mean it's not done?
No. I don't know what I would have preferred. Poison water or HIV spit.
Yeah.
Why not both? No, but other than that, it's
both
alright.
have their pluses and minuses.
I've been playing Metro Exodus, which we'll talk about. Is that our feature? Like Metro
Yeah,
and
it's
Far Cry?
our first impressions of both, yeah.
And much Apex Legends.
Yeah, so I think you said, like, before we even started recording, you're like, yeah, so I've got Metro. Been playing Apex, but...
Yeah, a lot. It's really good. It's just really good. Got some wins and stuff. There's something about playing with like two randoms and communicating just through the incredible ping system they've got, and everything just comes together and everything just works and you get the win and it's just like never see you again. Goodbye. But I respect.
I did
the
see
chemistry that we had.
You got some nice love in the messages this week from Apex.
Yeah, I got it. On my first win, actually. There was two other guys who must have been or friends or something. He messaged me, he's like, good teammate, man. We don't get many, so thanks. I'm like, you too. He's like, we want to play again sometimes. I'm like, yeah, for sure, cool. That's nice.
Two friends?
Because normally when you die in a game or kill someone in a game and a message pops up, you're like, okay, here we go.
About to get blasted.
I'm about to get fucking blasted. But no, it was a nice, pleasant change.
Man.
I got like 5 wins, I think. 2 of them, I got the game kill.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's good.
Did it feel good?
Yeah, it felt good.
Is it feeling in that same sort of excitement pump that you got out of like Fortnite and stuff back in the day?
No, I never got that from Fortnite.
No, but when you got the win though, where you're like,
yeah. Oh yeah, like when you get your first win, it's always exciting. But it's like at work, it's that game. It's like I can't wait to get home and play this, which you don't get much anymore, really.
I had that with Resi, but yeah.
Yeah, just that anticipation. I can't wait to get on and have a good time. I got a win last night. I was pretty shit-faced because I went to karaoke last night and then got home. I had a few whiskeys. I had a whiskey before karaoke, probably 3 while I was there, and then another big one when I got home. I thought I'll just play one game before bed. Got the win. I jumped. I was like, yes! Yes! And my dog's like, what the fuck? So I was playing a character I hadn't played before. I'm just like, oh, I feel like playing this dude. And yeah, got the win. You know, it was intense too because I died through the game. Probably about 5 squads left, and I died. And then I got knocked down, and then actually finished. So the teammate can pick up your respawn beacon and drop you out of the ship. And by the time they did all that, there was 3 teams left, like my team and 2 others. But when you come back, you've got fucking nothing because you'd loot boxes wherever you died. But the circle had closed, so I couldn't get back to any loot. And right next to the supply ship was a shotgun in a crate. I was like, fucking this'll do. I got no armor, I got no meds, I got no shield. I'm like, all right, let's fucking do this. And the other 2 teams fought. One team lost, and then there was 1 team left, and we could see them just like around the mountain there. And I'm just like, fuck this. And we won, and I got the final kill with my shotgun too.
Very nice.
That's good feels.
That's a good story.
It's an enjoyable game. It's very, very enjoyable. It can be frustrating because it is team focused. When you do get a shit team, you may as well just quit. I don't, because all experience is a good experience. You know, if my team's all the way over there because they've decided to go there without pinging to tell me like, hey, we're going to go over here. I'm like, oh fuck, they're over there. Shit, enemy spotted. Fucking all right, I'll give it a go. You know, may as well.
Push the risk.
Yeah. And sometimes you come out on top and you're like, all right, I did that. And then the team, so you're like, you finish 2 or 3 guys by yourself. It's like, all right, whole squad wiped out. That's what like your character says. Like, okay, I'll fucking put my meds in and all that. And then here comes your team. They see the loot boxes and they're like, ooh, now I want to be a part of this. And you're like, fuck you, you fucking asshole. So it's touch and go.
Yeah.
Most games are average. You know, like, oh yeah, that was fun. But when it all clicks, it really is a special feeling. When your squad just knows when to ping, what to do, it is very special. It's a good game.
Yeah, I'm still yet to make the jump and download. I don't know why. I'm just like,
yeah, give it a go.
Yeah, I'm just not.
And it's so quick.
Not feeling multiplayers.
Yeah, but there's no like pre-game lobby. You know, like for a minute and a half, everyone's just punching each other. Shit. There isn't that.
Oh, that's impressive.
As the game is loading, your 3 of you are picking your characters.
Oh, that's fair.
When everyone's picked their characters, it goes, okay, here's your squad, and then it goes, here's the champion squad from the last game, go, and you're in the ship. It's like 45 seconds to a minute in between dying and getting into another game.
So I like it a lot. That's a good turnaround. Yeah. Very nice.
They've made a lot of quality of life changes, which make everything just snappy. Yeah. And Metro, which are into play. What about you?
Yes, I've been playing Far Cry New Dawn, but we'll get into that a little bit later. I reinstalled Tekken 7.
Okay.
Because we're at work and one of the guys who he's like, I'm fucking awesome at fighting games. Blah blah blah. Mortal Kombat, I kick your butt. Some Japanese BlazBlue bullshit, I kick your ass. I'm like, I'm gonna download Tekken. I kick your ass.
So you're practicing at home?
No. So I downloaded it that day at work.
Yeah.
So I downloaded it in the morning session, the afternoon session. I'm like, come on.
Got the combo list pulled up.
No. I don't need no combo list. When it's Eddie, I know what's up. just throw the controls they have. No. See, that's the thing. With my days of Tekken 3, like I know his combos. Like I actually, oddly, really sussed out how to work him properly rather than just smashing buttons.
The rare Eddie player.
Huh?
The rare Eddie player that actually knows what they're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's like, all right, let's do this. I'm like, all right, thank you for the win. Retire undefeated.
PS options uninstall game.
No, because like to his credit, he's like he always pulls up his BlazBlue and like, look at the sweet combo I can do, but it's always against the computer that's not fighting anyone. Like, it's not fighting back.
The training mode one.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that means nothing, right? Let's play this and I'll beat your ass.
Aren't you supposed to be helping?
Oh, it's friendly. It's totally friendly competition with a little bit of hate behind.
Sure, it is. Yeah, it sounds totally friendly.
Well, I can only get beaten so many times before I'm like, you know what, fuck this noise.
I'm surprised that they haven't wanted to pull up Apex there, actually. The trio-based, team-focused.
Yeah, our internet's hot
multiplayer?
shit right now, so we can't do it. Like, once if we get new internet, like, infrastructure, then we can probably do something with it.
Could be good. Free, 3 players.
Yeah, I'm certainly open to it.
Communicating is essential.
Yeah. And it's not Fortnite, so I'm a big fan.
And it's
of
not Fortnite.
I have also been playing this old PS Plus game called Pumped BMX Plus.
Okay. Is that one of the side-scrolling ones?
Yeah. It's a good palate cleanser.
Like Ollie Ollie?
Yeah,
Like
pretty
the
much.
BMX?
Yeah. So before I jump into like whatever game I want to really sink my teeth into, I just boot up Pump BMX, give a couple runs. Like, yeah, cool. All right, cool. And then back to whatever I was doing. And it's good. It's a good little.
Like junk food.
Yeah, a little bit junk food. Yeah, it's very nice. Very, very good. No, that's what we've been playing. That's about it, I think. Oh no! On Wednesday, for the stream we did do our WWE Wednesdays again.
Okay.
We predicted the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view using the game. They're the best streams to do because
you don't have to do
I don't
anything.
have to do shit. I just make the game fight each other.
Yeah.
And then I let it do its thing.
So
and then
who's winning the pay-per-view then?
So AJ Styles will get the belt back from Daniel Bryan. Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose will be the first ever women's tag team champions.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah, it's fine. Shane McMahon and The Miz will retain their SmackDown belts, tag team belts. Baron Corbin will beat Braun Strowman.
Ooh. Who wins the chamber? Like the chamber.
AJ Styles.
Oh.
So there's 2 chamber matches. That's the women's tag team match and the heavyweight championship.
Oh, but I thought the chamber everyone was in like a pod. There was like 5 people.
So the way it's working is so
I think the last 2 will be Bryan and Styles.
No. So according to the game, it started with who was in there originally? It was Daniel Bryan and someone, right? And then one by one they all got eliminated, and it ended up with Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles.
Okay.
And that was according to the game, and then AJ Styles monstered Jeff Hardy, and then,
Yeah.
And the tag, so what they're doing in the actual real pay-per-view is they're having the tag teams in the pods, so that way they'll have 12 women in total. 12? Yeah, 12 women in total in the chamber.
Sounds like a porno concept.
Yeah. It's very tough. I was talking to Paris about it, and he's like, "Hey, can we watch the pay-per-view on Monday at work?" He's like, "What is in it for me?" I'm like, 12 women in a cage. Yeah, it's cool.
Would have been happy with 2.
But no, it should be pretty sweet. Yeah, no, I think that's all I played this week. It's been a pretty low key week. But
That's more than you've played a lot in the last month or so.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of little league games. Like what else? I played a bit of Everybody's Golf as always. So a lot of junk food games. Sort of because once I got Resi out of the way, and I got Resi out of the way way faster than I thought I would have. So I was like, oh well. There was a lovely trailer for Days Gone that came out this week. Though it was getting me pretty stoked for that game. You're still like nothing on it.
I didn't watch the trailer.
Oh, it's pretty sweet.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like who's so at their wedding? Like,
but I shared a tweet and
I don't use Twitter.
No. But the game, the creative director and the open world dude, they liked it.
That's cool. I'm sure they do like their own game, and they are trying to retweet any positivity that's out there about it.
This is the section when we talk to you about the news. And it's called Inform the Players. We tell you about what happened in PlayStation games this week.
Number 1, God of War dominated at this year's 22nd Annual DICE Awards held by the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences in Las Vegas. God of War not only received the coveted Game of the Year award, it went home with a whopping 9 out of 23 categories,
Jesus, fuck.
including Outstanding Achievement in Game Direction, Game Design, Story, Original Music Composition, and more. In comparison, 2018's Game of the Year, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, took home only 4 awards.
Eat a dick, Zelda.
The only other multi-award winner this year was Indie Darling Celeste, which went home with the Outstanding Achievement for an Independent Game and Action Game of the Year awards. God of War. Woo! Santa Monica. Yay! Why do they hold them so late, the DICE Awards, compared to like, we're like nearly 2 months into the year now. It's like, well, is that normal? I don't know.
I think it's a positive because it allows for any late entrances in the year. Because
Okay.
you know how most, as I accidentally caress your hand.
You know how most.
So like most Game of the Year, they're like, oh, we stop we stop registering new games in November.
Yeah.
It's like, well, there are games that come out in late November and December. And I guess the DICE Awards are nice enough to be like, they're acknowledging the fact that it may take a little bit longer.
fair.
And I guess it's probably with any time of the year they can hide that event, that hall they use,
probably.
like, fuck it, we'll do it in March.
So
February,
good on Corey and the Santa Monica team.
It's to no surprise, and like what I love about the DICE Awards is it's not media, it's not the public,
Not
it's
pandering to the
crowd.
Like,
these are all industry dudes and dudettes.
Yeah.
Like, so for them,
these are the legit.
Yeah,
really.
So like developers, they know how it's done. They know how hard it is. They know the blood, sweat, and work.
They've got a different perspective.
Exactly. So for them to all unanimously go, yeah, no, this was an exceptional game this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and for that, you know, like it was nice to not see Red Dead get jerked out as well. It was pretty good.
Yeah, so sick of that game.
You know what I mean? Because like it's one of those things. Like it's just come out recently. Everyone was all super hyped on it because the voting was right after it released.
Yeah.
You know, where with that a little bit.
Well,
of
I guarantee you, when the voting was up, 95% of the people had not finished that game.
Yeah. So having said that, like having the DICE event a little bit later, then maybe they were able to sort of see the forest and the trees and look back and go, no, it's very clearly God of War.
Yeah.
Well done, God of War.
Because it's Red Dead.
You were our game of the year.
Red Dead sucks. Number 2, following its private beta that concluded last weekend, Ubisoft announced the Division 2's open beta will happen at the beginning of March. The open beta, I said beta and beta in 2 different paragraphs.
You've been watching Skill Up, haven't you?
I have. Will be available for PC, PS4, Xbox One players from March 1st to March 4th. I think for Australia that's 2nd to the 5th. But, you know, this will give Ubisoft just under 2 weeks to make any final tweaks to Division 2 prior to its official release on March 2015. Final tweaks. How about changing the whole game? Back to the Division 1.
Did they mention what's happening, or is it literally the private beta but public?
It's the same thing.
Okay,
Exactly
so
the same
there's
thing,
no
but
reason for us to do it again, sort of thing.
No.
Okay.
Unless you, like, mate, I'll probably jump. It's still on my console. I'll probably just jump back in and be like, "Am I really sure?"
Yeah.
You know, mate. You know, because I was so hyped, and now I kind of know what to expect. Going into it with that perspective might change the way I'm looking at it a little bit. Maybe. There's no reason for me not to jump back into it again.
Exactly.
Give it another round.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, maybe I'll give it a go. It's very unlikely that I will. Mostly because it's multiplayer. But, my question is one of those things with 2 weeks prior to release.
Nothing's going to change.
Nothing's going to change.
The game's gold.
Yeah, it's pretty much ready to go. If anything, it might be some day one patchy stuff. But even then, what can they
There'll be
really
nothing
put
fundamental. Any tweaks will just be, you know, glitches, bugs.
But even then, as we know from experience with the Division, it's very likely it'll still release with a ton of bugs and problems.
Probably.
Which is not a horrible thing because it's standard now.
It's
I
just
suppose.
games. These online games have a lot of moving parts, and it's very hard to line up everything. I'm sure. Overwatch still has bugs. Fortnite still has bugs. Apparently, I found out. I don't know if you can validate this at all, but I was doing some reading about why Fortnite can still class itself as early access and in beta. On Xbox, it says early access. PS4 is beta. I don't know about the rest of them. That being labelled as being in that state lets them push out patches a lot more.
That sounds about
And
right.
then once the game is fully released, apparently they're restricted at how much they can update.
Yeah, that is certainly a thing. Because I do know that PlayStation have an issue. There's I think it costs money at a point.
Okay.
In order to keep pushing patches.
Because the game is ever changing, because that's how they've designed it. You know, the map changes every week, and there's new challenges, and they're putting weapons in and out. Like every week, there's something happening, and maybe being a full release, they won't have that freedom.
Yeah, because I remember one of the things, there was a PC game that was, so there was a game that released on PC and console, and it was one of those things, the PC was getting patches probably every couple of days, just, fixing stuff, because under Steam, they have no issue with just going, here you go, just unload all the patches, where with PlayStation, I think there is a restriction or some sort of cost behind it, so instead they'll bank up a couple and they'll release 10 patches worth of shit in one.
Yeah, it makes sense. Kind of. It should, yeah, it's so bizarre.
All it's showing
to me.
is a slightly outdated model.
Yeah, it's so bizarre seeing that game still labelled as a beta. It made nearly $3 billion last year.
It's not
you
a beta.
Cannot class this game as a beta anymore. We're eight seasons in now.
Yeah, if that's what they need to do to make it come together.
Yeah, I understand, but something needs to kind of change because it's definitely not a beta.
Correct.
Number 3, EA and Respawn's new battle royale shooter Apex Legends reached 25 million total players since its debut last week. So that was a week at the time of this article being written. An update on the official EA website from Respawn Entertainment CEO Vince Zampella announced the news of the milestone, which also notes the game hosted 2 million concurrent players during its peak over the weekend. With hundreds of thousands of fans watching their favourite streamers such as Ninja Shroud and Dr. Disrespect battle it out on their channels, Apex Legends managed to reach 8.28 million hours watched, beating Fortnite's record of 6.6 million during the second week of the summer skirmish. And Apex Legends has kept interest of top streamers, and its viewers base has grown over time, keeping it in the number one position on Twitch for a record-breaking 10 days in a row now. The only game to have ever beaten Fortnite for that long.
Wow.
So the sticking power, it's still... I mean, we're only a week and a bit in, or nearly 2 weeks? Yeah, nearly 2 weeks, but it hasn't been one of those... Bleh. It's still sticking out. I understand that, you know... announcing you've got 25 million total players, but it's retention that matters in these games.
It does. And that's my concern with it being super pessimistic. Would be the idea of like, hey, 25 million people are downloading it, but how many people are playing it? Like, I think it's because active players is playing at the same time, right?
Correct.
So that is 2 million playing at one time, which is still a fuckload of people. It's a very small percentage of your overall download base, though. And it's one of those weird lines. Like, yes, it's really impressive when you compare it to other games, but I don't know about you. When I see 2 out of 25, I'm like,
no.
But I mean, I have fucking no power.
It seems like everyone that wasn't playing it was watching the tournament they held on Twitch. Because 8.28 million hours in a week of watched. That's fucking insane.
I would like to see the data, which they'll never release, but the idea of, okay, so 25 million downloads have happened. How many people are still playing? Not at the same time, but how many people are just playing?
They're the same for Fortnite. It's probably had 100 million downloads at this point, but maybe there's only 4 or 5 million still playing it at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, you don't. Those numbers we don't get access to. But, you know, this whole month for Apex is just like, here's the launch, which was very smooth. Props to them. Here's the launch. We're going to iron out a few things for the month, and then in March, the first Battle Pass Season 1 starts. And that's when we kind of see where this game's going to be heading. Yeah, is the Battle Pass garbage? Is it not? Is it like Blackout Battle Pass, which is fucking shit, or PUBG's ones, which is very, very bad? Everyone's over the Fortnite Battle Pass with these repetitive, boring challenges. In my opinion, the best Battle Pass they could do is the Rocket League one, where there's no challenges. You just get XP for playing games, and that tears you up. Because putting challenges in these kind of games diverts you from what you should actually be doing. Like, if there was challenges in Rocket League, like save a goal 3 times in one match, everyone's going to be sitting in the goal. That's not fun. So Rocket League and Psyonix was like, just play the game, get XP, and you'll tear up. That's how it works. No challenges.
Yeah.
I want that. Really.
Yeah, like I do appreciate them waiting the month to release the Battle Pass. That does show at least some consumer-friendly behavior. Which, like that's a little
bit of restraint.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm only, because I'm not playing it, I don't understand the game. Like I'm being kind of meh about it.
That's a different perspective.
But yeah, if I got in there and enjoyed it, it might be a whole different circumstance.
It is doing very well. You know, the microtransactions are touch and go. Some, you know, some's cool. Some's like a weapon skin costs 1,100 of the coins, but you can only buy 1,000 or 2,200. As these games kind of go.
Yep. Kind
of the same with Fortnite. Like, the lowest amount you can buy is 1,000, but a blue skin costs 1,200. So, you know, you got some left over or not. But that gap of that extra 100 needed, I will assume in the Battle Pass, every few tiers you'll probably earn 100, as you do V-Bucks in Fortnite. Every 5 or 6 tiers you get 100 V-Bucks to kind of buffer out that little difference. But we'll see. But so far it's doing much better than anyone could have expected, especially Respawn, because Vince has been pretty open. Vince Zampella takes no fucking shit either. He just does not give a fuck whether he's under EA or not, or who he's talking. I mean, he was doing an interview with someone about Titanfall 2, but an PR rep was also with him. And then I think the interviewer was asking, you know, Titanfall 3, what's the go? And Vince is like, I really don't know. We're doing things. And the EA rep was like, you know, Titanfall will be a staple franchise for EA going forward. And Vince looks at him and goes, whatever the fuck that means. Yeah. You know, he doesn't give a fuck, and that's why I like him so much.
Makes sense. Like, Titanfall, like, it's a staple now that it's making a fuck ton of money.
Yeah. This was ages ago. This was way before Apex.
Like, when we were burying it, you know.
But yeah, no, I really like him, and he seems to be very transparent and open with everyone and stuff. So it's good. Yeah,
awesome.
It's very good. All good news. Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios chairman Shawn Layden recently discussed why Sony is skipping E3 this year and how the company is focusing on fewer but bigger games. Quote, so retail has really dropped off, and journalists now, with the internet and the fact that 24/7 there is games news, it's lost its impact around that, said Shawn Layden. So the trade show became a trade show without a lot of trade activity. The world has changed, but E3 hasn't necessarily changed with it. And with our decision to do fewer, bigger games over longer periods of time, we got to a point where June of 2019 was not a time for us to have a new thing to say. And we feel like if we ring the bell and people show up here in force, people have expectations. Oh, they're going to tell us something. Layden ultimately spoke about how E3 might need to change into something more akin to a fan-centric show like Comic-Con. Makes sense?
It makes total sense.
He's like, we got nothing for you. He's basically saying we got nothing new to show you this year.
Yeah.
And us going sets an expectation, which we know we can't fulfill. It's better for us just to back off.
Which is exactly what we all sort of thought, which is great. Like, there's no major complaints there for me at all. As much as I would still have loved to see a PlayStation showcase this year, if I see Last of Us 2 again, if I see Death Stranding again, I'm going to punch myself in the face. So, having them step away, if anything, it means... Excuse me.
PSX is going to be quite big.
When PSX in December kicks in, it's going to be rad. It's going to be massive, and it wouldn't surprise me if we hear about PS5 at the end of the year. Like, they're like, well, we're not quite ready to talk about it now, but come December, because as it's, oh man, my nose is blowing up. As is common knowledge that Xbox is working on their next generation console. So for that reason, I think we'll hear about it in June, and that gives them 6 months to final tweak it, and then that's what we got.
But if anything, it also makes E3 to make it a little bit more exciting, because it's like, well, this has never happened before. Microsoft literally have, like, this is like
they have golden.
This is a golden shot. Like, you could win the next generation here.
Yeah.
Which is when PS4 and Xbox One were announced, Sony won the generation at E3. That's just how it went. And
Sorry for gross nose noises.
Xbox have that opportunity, so it's going to make it very interesting. Maybe not fun to watch like the whole thing, but at least the Xbox showcase to me is quite exciting.
Well, yeah, it's odd though. When it comes to E3, I normally would take a week off. I'd normally stay up late and watch all the things. I don't think I'll do it this year. Without PlayStation, it's not quite as fun.
Just see where the times line up.
Yeah.
For where, who's doing what, when, on what day. Yeah, maybe there'll be one you're like, well, I'm home. I may as well stream that one.
Yeah. And if any of you guys that do watch this and do want us to do E3 again this year, we might not be able to do it live, but if we do them after I get home from work or something,
Oh, we'll definitely do the
No, but I mean like the live stream, so the streaming the reactions, like we can do it to the VOD later.
Yeah,
if you guys would be willing to watch that with me, or me and Josh, let me know.
The top selling games for the week ending 10th of Feb, starting number 10, Spyro Reignited, number 9, GTA 5, number 8, Overwatch, number 7, NBA 2K19, number 6, FIFA 19, number 5, Monster Energy Supercross 2, number 4, Black Ops 4, number 2, Resident Evil 2 Remake, number 3, Resident Evil 2 Remake, number 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, fuck all these games with numbers in it, and number 1, Kingdom Hearts 3.
What's number 1? Kingdom Hearts 3. What's number 2? Red Dead 2. Oh, that's nice.
What's number 3?
Resident Evil 2. What?
What's number 4? Black Ops 4.
Oh,
what's number
nice.
5? Supercross 2.
Uh-huh.
What's number 6? 19.
It's accidental math.
And then just quick bits. Completing the new overtime challenges in Fortnite will get you the next battle pass for free.
Is that good?
What?
Is that a good thing?
Well, you'd have to pay for the next battle pass if you complete some of these challenges.
Okay.
This seems very reactionary to Apex, to be honest.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean? Call of Duty 2019 will have a campaign. And Harmonix have announced Audica, a VR rhythm shooter.
Yeah, it looks dope.
I'll put that in for you.
Yeah, man.
It was like Beat Saber, but with guns. You're like, pew, 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 like playing the music. That sounds cool.
No, I'm
sounds very cool.
I don't think they mentioned it was coming to PlayStation, or did they?
No, at the moment, there's going to be like a demo on the Vive and the Oculus.
Speaking of other quick bits, though, apparently...
actually, I got one more too.
PlayStation have altered a patent around what could potentially be new VR controllers. So most patents, can always end up being nothing, and that's a thing. But this is actually an updated patent. So it was originally submitted. They've come back and tweaked it, which to me,
so they should have done it.
It's R&D.
They should have done it from the start.
Yeah,
because the Move controllers are fucking awful. They are disgusting controllers.
They are big.
I hate them. I hate them.
And then after using the Vive controllers, which are spectacular,
Yeah.
it's just like, nah, the movie's the butt.
Yeah, the butt. One last one that I just found before we started. During the latest financial briefing, Ubisoft confirmed that it is planning to release between 3 and 4 AAA games during the next financial year. So this is not including the Division 2. The next financial year runs from April 1st, 2019 to March 31st, 2020, meaning these games could be released any time within the next 12 months. All we know of is Skull and Bones.
Here we go. Prediction terms. Skull and Bones.
Did we traditionally hear about Assassin's Creed before this point in the year? Like Odyssey and Origins?
They mentioned that. I think it's
before?
been known they're not doing one this year.
Okay.
So I'm thinking...
Splinter Cell.
Yeah, it was it. I was like, Tom Clancy's something... Skull and Bones, Splinter Cell, Watch Dogs 3...
No.
And... Beyond Good and Evil.
I'm gonna say
Those
no.
first two are
No
solid
to
bets.
Watch Dogs 3. You know how Ubisoft are. They would have started if it was releasing in the next year. We would have heard about it at E3 last year. They would already be drumming it up. That's just what they.
Well,
do.
they have until March of next year, so they can always announce it at
E3.
at E3.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't really care about any of those games you listed, to be honest. But
Yeah, me either.
Skull and Bones could be cool.
Yeah,
You
but it's
see
like
Thieves were
I
good.
forgot about it until
Yeah,
we
me too.
mentioned it a minute ago. Because it was like, oh yeah, that was supposed to be the better version of Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
And then they released that Apex, whatever not Apex, what was it called?
Atlas.
The
The
guys
Ark
from
guys did.
Ark made some
Which
giant boat
fucking-
game, which was butt.
Yeah. Apparently, because it was all code from Ark, so people managed to get into it and like start spawning dragons and shit in the game, and it's just a fucking a very good YouTube hole to go down. Is the problems with Atlas? It's just fucking hilarious.
The biggest problem with Wildcard Studios is they've barely finished Ark,
They
and
haven't
they
finished
they
it.
have so like the game is riddled
It's
with
like when it was in
problems.
early access and they released an expansion for it.
It's like
What the
there's
fuck?
like finish the first
Finish
game.
the base game,
So like, hey, we haven't finished Ark yet, but here's another game
Yeah.
about pirates.
but it's all the same code as Ark, and people have found things like it's Ark.
Yeah.
Just with the pirate skin over the top. I don't like that studio at all, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's it for the news, Ryan, as we have a chat to the players about Metro Exodus and Far Cry New Dawn.
Yeah, so these will be our first impressions. Now, I've spent a couple of hours with Far Cry. I did receive it on, as embargo drops, like 10 p.m. on Thursday.
Last night, yesterday. You messaged me.
No, because I played it last night.
It was yesterday.
It
You
was
messaged me in the
Thursday.
afternoon.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well,
believe-
yeah, I installed it Thursday night, about 10 o'clock.
I was wrong.
So big thank you to
It
Ubisoft
was
once
Thursday
again.
that you
Yeah,
messaged.
once
It
again
was.
for hooking us up with a copy. We do truly appreciate it. Yeah.
I watched you play it for a little bit when I got here.
Yep.
I haven't touched it. I've only just seen what Ryan's played.
But
of
yeah.
it.
No, we'll let you drive in a Metro first because
Okay.
you were pretty super keen on this. So
Yeah. So I dropped Alex off at school yesterday morning, straight up to JB, got my copy, very excited. Put the disc in, it's like installing 55 gig. It's like,
oh, Apex.
fuck. So, no, I did all my housework, helped Dad with some things. I had yesterday planned to just play Metro, like all day. But I didn't end up playing until about 3. Then I had to do school pickup. And then I went out to do karaoke last night with my dad. So I only played for about 2 hours. It's Metro. I've just gotten up to the bit where...
So what's the premise of the
Premise is, okay, I'm going to include spoilers for the first hour of the story. So 2033 and Last Light, essentially the Russian apocalypse has happened. Everyone's living in the metro, hence the name. And as far as anyone can tell, these are the last survivors on the planet. No radio contact anywhere in the world, nowhere outside of Moscow. No one's talking to anyone. And within the first hour of Exodus, you find out that there's a certain group of people that have some crazy jammer that were jamming out literally the rest of the planet. And you're like, and you break it, and then you just hear like China and Japan, everyone going blah 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 on the run. They're like, holy shit, like we're not alone. Like this, what the fuck?
It's huge.
So, from what I can tell so far, you got to find out why they were doing that, like why they would can't try and jam it, and you also get the train to, take you around places. The opening of the game is very cool. It is very Metro, like you because Metro's always felt very alone, and its strengths are in the ambience, and the atmosphere is like very just intense and bleak, and you feel so isolated and alone while you're playing that game. Like in the first 2 games, when sometimes you're with NPCs and sometimes you're not, and then they're like, okay, you go that way and we'll all go this way, and you're like, no, please come with me.
Yeah.
Please come with me. I don't want to do this alone. And it's like your heart just from the start. You start up on the surface world as Artyom. This is a conclusion of Artyom's story, and he's
Artyom the character.
He's the
from
main
3?
character from 1 and 2.
Yep.
So they've said this is a conclusion of his story, and between Last Light and here, you find out that he's been on the surface world like an obsession. He's like, there must be more people out there. That's his. I'm gonna find them. This is my goal. And you start out on the surface world, but you go back to the Metro Underground because
gas mask.
your shit's starting to run out. You need supplies and all that.
So here's a question that I'm sure you may get to. So if everyone requires gas masks to live on the surface, how are they using this train?
Well, that's what we need to find out. Now, the train had its own. From what I can tell, it has its own thing to stop the radiation. I've only just gotten to the bit where you get the train, and they're having that conversation. I'm like,
is it just radioactive where they are, and once they exclude
that's what we need to find out.
Okay. Because like in the trailer, there's just a woman hanging out the side of the fucking train. And I'm like, how is she not dead?
Maybe it's not as bad up there anymore. But from when I was up there, the masks still needed to be changed and stuff like that. Like I said, I've only played the first maybe 2 hours so far.
How's it look?
But it feels very Metro. It looks very Metro. There's a very clear aesthetic they've got, and it is just at the moment snow and broken buildings, but it is very consistent throughout all the games. It looks exactly how you'd expect Metro to look. It feels exactly how you'd feel Metro expect it to feel. You've still got your lighter to light up spider webs and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was very ambient. The opening segment, you are in the tunnels by yourself. You see the creatures they'll dart through pipes, and you're like, oh fuck, and you hear gunshots way off. It's very ambient, and you do feel very claustrophobic. The voice acting is kind of cheesy as always. It is. I'm playing English spoken, but it's by Russian speakers, so you still got that really thick Russian accent to it.
Can you play it in Russian with English subtitles?
I believe you can. It's a setting you've got to change, I think.
That'd be
but I
very
think
cool.
That might be PC only. I'm not sure. I saw people talking about it. I'm like, I don't quite understand what you're saying. One of the characters is very kind of, I think, overacted. Anna, Artyom's wife.
Okay.
She seems to be just a little bit too much. Same voice actor from Last Light, but, she loves you. And she's like, way, Artyom, you're alive. No, look, it's very good. It feels very consistent with the Metro series. And one thing they do in Metro, which I don't think a lot of other games do, is people talk over each other a lot, which is what happens in real life.
Yeah, do it all the time.
In many games, you're doing it right now, fuckhead. In many games, someone will speak their line, and then the next person will speak, and then the next person will speak, and there's no crossover. Whereas this, when I got back from the surface world and met up with the old squad, they're all talking to me at once, and it's overwhelming. You're like, fuck, and it's like, Anna's like, just give him some room, and you're like, yeah, please give me some fucking room. But it makes it feel much more alive because, if someone walks in the room, everyone's like, hey, what's up, buddy? And everyone's talking, and you're like, whoa, fuck. Same kind of thing. Everyone talks over each other. It's very kind of natural in that. But it is very jarring in a video game as well. They did it in the other games too. You just don't expect it. You're like, fuck, there's so much happening. You'll walk past 2 groups of people, and they'll both say something to you, and you're like, who do I respond to? And you kind of miss half. What'd you say again? Because that guy was speaking. That's all very natural in that way.
Very cool.
I'm planning on playing it pretty much for the rest of the day.
Yep.
Once I get home today, I'll have more next week, hopefully. Probably finish it. Apparently it's 15 to 20 hours if you just kind of cruise through the story. I'd want to do a bit more than that. I like to explore. Yeah,
I'm hoping to push through Far Cry and might be able to good old
apparently it takes 35 to 40 hours to kind of see everything, or about half that if you just do the story. I'll probably do a bit of both.
Yeah.
Like I did with Assassin's Creed. At the start of Assassin's Creed, I was like, I'm going to do everything in this game. And then you get halfway through, you're like, there is so much. I've had it. I've fucking had enough. But Metro might not be like that. But so far, it feels very Metro. If you liked the first 2, you're going to like this one.
Too busy.
All the Epic Game Store and Steam shit aside, because I don't give a fuck.
It doesn't affect us.
Doesn't affect me.
We're the console
at all.
places.
Not commenting on that at all. I did comment that on Reddit though. There there's so many threads about it, and I'm just like, just play on console. Downvoted. Just to oblivion. I got fucking annihilated. I'm like, meh.
Worth it.
But yeah, no, I'll have a lot. I know I don't have a lot to say about it today. Time was sparse. We had to do this today instead of tomorrow because you need to be out tomorrow.
Yeah.
We were planning to have an extra day with these games, but
Yeah,
that's just how it panned out.
inconveniently, my niece is having a birthday. No.
Inconveniently, I forgot.
Yeah.
Even like she has one every year.
Yeah, I forgot.
But yeah, I'll definitely speak a lot more about it next week.
Yeah. So having played it now though, is it still drawing you to do more? Is it enticing you?
Kinda.
Mm-hmm.
Apex has just really got its hooks in me.
Yeah.
And 'cause Apex is a very, very fast game. There's zip lines, you slide down hills and all that kind of stuff. Whereas Metro is very slow and very kind of methodical. You know, you take a very strategic approach to Metro. It's just got to be in a different mindset. And I'll probably just keep jumping between the two.
Yeah.
Until, Metro might just go, gotcha.
Mm.
And then that's it. Until it's done,
So with Exodus, because this is one of the big questions. The trailers that I've seen, the game looks immaculate. With Last Light and 2033 being PS3 up-reses to PS4, how much better does this game look comparatively?
It's noticeably smoother in the textures and all that. I'm pretty convinced that all the trailer footage is like the top end PC, like the best you can ever get. And no, it doesn't look as good as the trailers on console.
Because one of the big things behind Metro was pushing the RTX graphics card.
Yeah.
That's
so
the beast
definitely
graphics
on
card.
PC, like if it's all for the visual stuff you want, well, you're gonna have to play there. But it looks great. It does look like it looks like a 2018 game.
Awesome.
2019. We're only in 2019.
Yeah.
But we don't it doesn't look like The Last of Us 2 is gonna look or anything.
Yeah.
It's perfectly acceptable. I'm not a graphics slut.
Oh.
But it looks good.
Very nice.
Feels good. It's Metro. But maybe it won't be next week when I actually have more to say.
So yeah, we'll you'll hear more about Metro Exodus next week as we bullshit more about that over the next week.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on the socials
Far Cry.
that you don't use. So Far Cry New Dawn is a spin-off of Far Cry 5. Oh, I forgot to mention the start of the show. I've been playing Far Cry 5 this week. So sort of lead up to New Dawn,
I found Far Cry 4 was at EB Games for $4.
$4.
Yeah, I nearly picked it up. I didn't know.
Damn. So I have gone back to play Far Cry 5 to sort of really have an remember what it was like. You played that game like a year ago at this point or some shit.
I would love, sorry to interrupt,
No, that's
but
fine.
I would love a linear Far Cry game because the opening of Far Cry 5, I was like, this is fucking sick. With was it Joseph
Seed.
Joseph Seed. I was like, this is awesome. And then it's like bleh. And you get the big world and all that. I'd love like a 10-hour just here's a Far Cry campaign.
Yeah.
Without all the opening, because the storytelling, like the characters they make, are always consistently really, really good. But I feel like you don't get to see enough of them. Or by the time you do see them again, you're like, meh. All right, that's just a random.
So this the Far Cry New Dawn is almost a reskin of Far Cry 5, and they've been very open with that, so it's not doing it dirty in any way. So
they're not charging full price.
Exactly, that's why they're charging slightly less than full price. So it is set 17 years after the ending of Far Cry 5, which in order to play this, the ending does have to be spoiled for you, so apologies in advance. At the end of Far Cry 5, Joseph Seed sets off nuclear bombs and just blows living fuck out of Hope County.
And presumably the surrounding area.
And the surrounding area.
I mean, it's not like the mountains stop the radiation.
So it's 17 after those bombs have dropped. So the world has regrown anew, and that's what
neon.
So the first thing you'll notice is with Far Cry 5, even that game, the contrast was pretty high. A lot of the colors popped. It was very vibrant. It was very natural looking, but sort of saturated in a very nice way. With this one, the first thing you notice, it is still very saturated, but because of a lot of the use of neon color, you find that it pops even harder. in a good and a bad way sometimes. See, visually it does compare to the likes of Rage 2, but with Rage 2 being more post-apocalyptic in that the world is very brown.
And Rage 2 seems very desert.
Yeah, so it's very
Like
brown,
Mad
a lot of
Maxy.
yellows. So then having the neon pinks and the blues and the greens or whatever, it really stands out harder, but it also, because it's popping against a bland backdrop, it doesn't seem as overbearing. However, saying that though, I do still kind of like the aesthetic here. I think it's really kind of cool. So a lot of the vibrant colors comes in the place of the Highwaymen, which are the bad guys that you'll see around and about Hope County. And you do, with the two main villains being the sisters you see on the front cover, whose names are Mikey and Lou. So they're sort of the heads of the Highwaymen, I guess.
Who are the Highwaymen? Like, is that...
They're just they're just
Where'd they come from?
Bandits. They're just bandits.
Oh.
So after the renewal of the world and everyone came out of their bunkers and started rebuilding the world around them, everyone was all nice and peaceful and just kind of focusing on society. And then of course, like everyone, they're like, "Hey, fuck you," and they just came in. So apparently they came from the west. So they came from external to Hope County, because Hope County was sent in the Montana, which is, I believe, is the northeast of America. So they've come in from Central America just to come and just take what they don't have, pretty much. It's just being
And paint everything pink.
just being dicks and painting pink.
Where do they get all that paint from?
I don't know.
They need a lot.
Yeah, maybe
Hope County's a big place.
Yeah, maybe somewhere in central. Maybe there was a big paint plant as all coming through. So far, in terms of the villains, like they are in no way yet as intimidating or as impressive as the Seeds, or like the Seed family, or Joseph Seed himself. Like when you see Joseph Seed for the first time, like it is fucked. You're like, who is this dude? He scares the shit out of me. And like I'm pretty sure he doesn't blink for the whole opening intro.
This guy's fucking crazy.
Like there is something here, and these just seem like two angry girls that are just your bad guys. Like there's nothing compelling about them yet. And like, even in the opening intro, like there's, aside from them kind of cracking the shits and beating up a dude with a helmet, like they don't have that same allure that the Joseph Seed had, or Vass had, or even Pagan Min from Far Cry 4. Like they all had a very big demeanor around them. I don't think it's because they're women. I don't think it's because they're twin. It might be because they're twins. You have to separate that over two characters rather than really honing it in on one awesome character.
Or maybe she was, and the nuke split her into two, and she's trying to merge back into one. And then she becomes like that. Oh, fuck.
Maybe. Saying that though, like there is time for it to be bigger and better and cooler and whatnot. The game is so aside from the color aesthetic, the game looks fantastic. It looks really, really good. Everything's very sharp and crisp and solid. There are a lot of changes in terms of gameplay systems. Although it is primarily the same as Far Cry 5, they've now added a lot more RPG style mechanics. So you're now seeing health bars above heads. You're seeing how many health points you take away with your attack. There is now although there has always been the loot system in Far Cry, they've now put that to the nth degree, and you now have tiered loot. So you have the grey being your standard, then I believe it's blue, purple, and then gold, and each of them obviously have more strength, more powerful. So they are bringing in kind of what we saw in the likes of Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins,
which also means it's not so open world anymore, doesn't it? I mean, you're going to go to some areas where you're like,
totally
I
true.
can't
Yes,
do this.
that is certainly correct.
I actually can't do this.
That is certainly correct. So, when you find enemies in the wild, the color of the bar above their head matches the weaponry, in the terms of like, hey, if you don't have a blue tier gun, you're going to have a tough time. Very cool. I like there's a new way to sort of change the game in a way.
Is there any way on the map to kind of tell what area has kind of what strength enemies?
I don't believe so. So in the map, rather than starting somewhere in the center like you do in Far Cry 5, you start in literally the bottom left-hand corner. So as you progress out, I can only assume it's going to get more difficult as you go. And so with Far Cry 5, you had the opening to be like, go see whoever you want. Like, we recommend you go see the brother first. That's fine if you don't want to. That's just whatever.
I went to the sister.
Yeah.
With like the crazy drug shit. Yeah, her. Yeah.
so like they're clearly funneling you down a bit more of a path, a bit more, I guess, which you'll probably get a kick out of. It's a bit easier.
Maybe.
Saying that though, when you do get to Hope County and you do your first mission, the first mission is, hey, can you go save this guy named, I think it's Thomas Rush. When the game opens, you're on a train. Funny enough, and the train crashes, and then
it's the end of Artyom's story. He ends up in Hope County, America. Somehow.
So you're on the train, and there's a guy on there named I believe his name Thomas Rush. I was calling him Rush, and he is sort of like the big hope of the world.
Hope of Hope County.
Yeah, so he's the one that can build these facilities, build these outposts, and really help the masses. But he gets kidnapped at the start, and your first mission is to go and get him. They believe he's in some coal mine up in the north. So that's the only target you have. It's like in about 3,000 meters away, so about 3 k's away. That's where he is. Do whatever you want to get there. Did you like that?
Please get there soon, but take your time.
Yeah, he'll be there eventually. Like it's likely that he's there. Just get there. So I'm pissed.
He won't be there.
He's not gonna be there.
When you get there, he's not.
So I'm just piss farting my way around. One thing they have done, which is a little bit different here, which I really, really like, you do have like a base of operations.
Oh.
And within that base operations, you're using all the items that you're scavenging around the world to upgrade. So, so you're going around, you're collecting duct tape and springs and cogs and components and metal, and you can use them to craft new weaponry, or you can return it to your base and upgrade the base.
Sounds like the Division, funnily enough.
So it seems to be a good amalgamation of all the other games.
We're really getting down to what a Ubisoft game is.
Yeah, like they've really there's a formula now. They're unapologetic.
It's
about
a decent formula.
Yeah, no, and it works. So
same with Assassin's Creed now, actually too.
Yeah.
Scavenge sticks and stones and upgrade shit.
So like I'm certainly enjoying this change. I like having the base is really cool, and it sort of gives you cool opportunities to do more stuff if you go back there and go boop blah.
Could you see this maybe as a test on them changing the Far Cry formula permanently going forward?
I'd say so.
Maybe because Assassin's Creed never had tiered loot and RPG skill system and all that kind of until recently, and everyone seems to really, really like that in Assassin's Creed. Maybe do we do this with Far Cry as well?
Well, they've done it a smart way by making it a spin-off and not Far Cry 6.
How they
if it doesn't go well, everyone's like, well, that was only in the spin-off. This is Far Cry 6.
Yeah.
Far Cry 6 is what you know.
Back to
basics. It's back to what you know and love about Far Cry. So it's a really smart way to sort of get around that.
Or everyone goes, hey, this system's really fucking good.
And then they go, well, you loved it in New Dawn, we're bringing it over here. I think I'm enjoying it. It's adding a cool bit of fun. So previously, in the past, like Outposts as an example, Outposts are still around, but they're not like towns that need to be liberated like they did in Far Cry 5. In this, they are sort of like makeshift little shanty towns that you go in there and you get ethanol, which is a key component in rebuilding your base. So once you do that and you gain, you get the original ethanol and components from liberating it, you can then scavenge it, as they refer to, which will then give you an extra, which will then reopen the outpost with higher level enemies.
I thought you were having trouble with when I got here.
That's what I was doing. I put it up to the next tier to see how gnarly it was. Noticeably gnarlier.
He died pretty quick.
I died real quick.
Multiple times.
Yeah. So it means I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to come back here when I have that next tier of weaponry.
I assume your son throwing the giant teddy bear in front of the TV was
It
probably...
didn't help. My wife kept walking in front of it too, which, problems of a house. If you want to talk, just come in here and play it. But yeah, no, like I like this new sort of change. It adds a bit more to it rather than... Because in Far Cry 5, like you do all the things, you liberate all the outposts, you clear it all out, and you're, all right, sick. And move on to the next area.
Yeah.
And this does give it a bit of, I guess, a bit of length in the game.
Does sound a little bit more for me than the traditional.
Well, it's only like 25 gig or something,
Yeah.
so it's on the PopC account.
Yeah.
Just give it a download, maybe.
Yeah.
You see it, give it a little bit of taste.
Yeah. Because I haven't really liked Far Cry since Primal.
Yeah.
I liked 3, liked Primal, 4 didn't do it for me, 5 didn't really do it for me.
Yeah.
So, maybe.
Yeah, as I said, I'm disappointed at the moment that the villains aren't what I want them to be. Saying that it's still very early days and they may move to something else.
Well, seeing as Anthem and The Division didn't do it for me, I've got Metro, and then The Sinking City is out the end of March, so if I need something in between, I'll probably jump in. Give it a go.
No, I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I can't wait to kick more out of it a little bit. But who knows? Maybe I'll get bored of it real fast.
Maybe. We'll find out next week, won't we?
Let us know what you guys are thinking of Metro Exodus and Far Cry New Dawn in those comments below, or Facebook group and the Discords and all those sort of things. Or maybe you went and picked up Crackdown. Or Jump Force.
Are we supposed to hate Crackdown? I don't understand.
Oh, no, it's just funny that it's that, that game's been waiting, people waited 10 years for that game, and it's still poo.
Oh, okay.
That's what makes me giggle.
Right.
We did receive a code. I didn't use it because I didn't want to play it. It was more of like
well, it's on Games Pass.
Yeah, and it's 3, and I don't remember. I didn't play 1 or 2, and I have no.
I saw a few clips of it on Reddit. I'm like, that looks pretty cool.
I like Terry Crews, but
yeah, I saw a few clips. I thought that looks alright. Just poor time to come out. I think.
Yeah,
Far
very,
Cry,
very tough
Metro,
time.
Apex out of nowhere. You got Anthem next week.
It's a very tough time.
Bad time. Very bad time.
But yeah, let us know what you've been playing, what you're thinking of those games, and see whether your thoughts align with Josh and mine, or maybe they don't align at all.
Yeah, maybe they don't align because you've actually played more than I have, and you're like, Josh, you're fucking wrong. This isn't Metro at all, you dick.
But yes, those are the games that are coming out this week. These are games we're playing right now. But let's look ahead at what games we might be playing next week in a section we call Coming to the Players.
New PlayStation games for February 19th, 2019. As always, this is the American list. Not all of these might be in Australia. Almost there, the platformer, PS4 digital. Anthem, PS4 digital and retail.
Yeah, what's the description?
Out on the 22nd. Of course I was going to read it. On a world left unfinished by the gods, a shadowy faction threatens all of humankind. The only thing that stands between these villains and the ancient technology they covet are the freelancers. Join with up to 3 other players and assemble high-tech, handcrafted, uniquely powerful exosuits. Chromagun VR, PSVR digital. Daggerhood, PS4, PS Vita digital. Death and Request, PS4 digital and retail. Well, it's amazing me that these kind of games get at retail releases. What the fuck is this? How are you doing this? Anyway, DreamWorks Dragons, Dawn of New Riders, PS4 digital and retail. Farm Together, PS4 digital. Grow your own farm all by yourself or cooperate with your friends in this unique, relaxing farming experience. Start from scratch with a small plot and end with a huge farm that extends further than the eye can see.
Out on the 20th, eh?
Yes. That's Thursday. No, Tuesday. Hacky Zack, PS4 digital. Hell Waters, PS4 digital. Hexamaze, PS4 digital. Pode, PS4 digital. Queen's Quest 2, Stories of the Forgotten Past, PS4 digital. Rim 9000, PS4 digital. Steins Gate Elite, PS4 digital retail. Unexplored Unlocked Edition, PS4 digital. So obviously Anthem is the big hitter this week.
And as is the farming game.
As is, well, you might want to know what it's actually called. Farm Together.
Yeah, I'll have a look at it. I'll go check it out. Because there is another game that came out this week that caught my interest. It was called Cook Serve Delicious 2.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and it's this weird looking cafe game. I kind of want to jump on it. I'm sure it's butt, but I want to play it.
I'm just looking at Farm Together. Is it worth it? I just want to get a quick look at the... what it looks like. Is it Stardew? Is it...
That's not it. That game came out in 2017.
Oh, Real Farm. That's not what I want. Go back. Farm Together review. Is it worth it? I'm going to...
it should already be muted. But anyway, yeah. So it looks like it's a game where you run like a cafe or some shit, and then you sort of, using your button prompts, you decide what goes where, and you got to time it. And
this looks nice.
Oh, it looks alright. It kind of looks.
Let's skip forward a bit.
Ooh, no, I'm feeling it.
I'll just skip for you a little bit more.
Yeah, no, so we'll have to go check it. It's fun.
Day-night cycle. Tractor.
And you have me a day-night cycle and a tractor that just jumps. It doesn't, you don't actually have to do tractoring. So it looks to be using sort of the basic layout of like a Harvest Moon with the idea of the 3, the squares rather than sort of individual things like you would in your farming simulator. It looks very cute and very cartoony. Look how quick
this motherfucker just planted that tree. Ready?
It's gadoosh.
Bam! There's a tree.
I'm going to check this out. Clearly they're playing on PC because that frame rate is very high.
I'd say it's going to be about $20.
Yeah, you know what?
Do it.
I'm doing it.
Do it. You might
I'm
enjoy
checking out Farm Together. If you want it together with my farm, let me know.
That PlayStation conversation happened on a Monday morning at 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and 8 a.m. on iTunes and Spotify and other podcast services. If you'd like to be a part of future conversations, please join us on Facebook, Discord, comment below. If you're feeling generous, join us on Patreon, patreon.com/popculturist. Head over there, check out the tiers. There might be something there that interests you. I can see you still watching.
If you do support us on Patreon, you can record us. You can watch us record
look,
this
tractors.
shit. Oh, what dual tractors?
He's doing donuts.
Oh, Max always in the dirt and shit. If you do want us, if you want to watch us record this show live, you can when you become a patron at any tier. There aren't any other perks.
See, this is why we read the drop, because it's still shit. But sometimes there's that thing you go, wait, hang on.
Well, it had me at farming game, and then it looks pretty sick.
It actually looks good.
So if you want to support Pop Cultures on your body, head to popcultures.com/shop where you can buy shirts and phone cases and books, sort of crap with our logo on it.
Shirts
Unlike these ones because we're lazy today. We are also on the twitch.tv/thepopculturist. And while you are listening to For the Players on the YouTubes and the podcast services, please go check out The Young and the Wrestlers. It is currently on podcast services only, but it should be on the, what are they called?
Feed?
On the YouTubes.
Oh.
Very, very soon.
Oh, you're doing that? Video?
We've recorded video every time.
Oh, okay.
We just don't have an intro video yet. So I'm trying to get that nailed down. I do have someone, I have Dash taking a look at it right now. Mm-hmm. And we should have that very, very soon.
The obvious thing is the Young and the Restless intro, but with like the top players' faces just put.
That's what I'm hoping.
I don't know if you can. I
gave it with Dash. I'm like, see what you can do. So hopefully it comes out with something good. But what'll probably happen is, because there's 7 episodes to date at this point, we'll probably go, here's one, and then 3 hours later, here's another one. 3 hours later, here's another one. So you're not getting like, man, here's 7 all on your feed at once. So I'll spread it out over a couple of days.
Fair.
Make it not too gnarly. But until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
And that was For the Players.
And this is farming. No, farm together.
Yeah, we're farm together. Come back, farm together.